Hello, welcome. I'm Sulaiman. Later tonight, Nigerian army accuses Amnesty International of refusing to join its team investigating human rights abuse in the Northeast. Human rights body says investigation was unnecessary. Speaker of the House of Representatives promises to make public allowances of lawmakers in the lower chamber, says the issue is subject to discussion. Nigeria joins the rest of the world in marking Sickle Cell Day. Experts caution against fear, say condition can be managed. A man suspected of killing 9 people in African-American church in the United States charged with murder.
On Business News tonight, FITC reports rise in fraud cases in the banking sector, directs banks to set up investigative desk to check the crime.
And on sports news, Nigeria Football Federation orders technical director Amadu Shuaibu to supervise chief coach Stephen Keshi in Super Eagles squad selection.
We begin tonight with the Nigerian military's response to Amnesty International's allegations of human rights violations in Northeast. Army authorities say the International Human Rights Group failed to honor its invitation to join its investigative panel on the alleged human rights abuse. Reacting to Amnesty International's report on June the 3rd, the Nigerian Army's Chief of Administration, Major General Adamu Abubakar, said the essence of inviting Amnesty International officials to join the panel was to guarantee fairness in its investigation. Amnesty International had specifically indicted the Chief of Defense Staff, Air Chief Marshal Alex Bade, Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Kenneth Minima, Chief of Air Staff, Air Vice Marshal Adeshola Amosun, and former Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Azubike Ihejirika.
June 3rd, International Human Rights Group Amnesty International released a report titled Stars on Their Shoulders, Blood on Their Hands. The group called for the investigation and prosecution of senior military officers on the grounds that the military had committed crimes against humanity in its fight against terrorism.
The precise number of extrajudicial executions is impossible to verify due to lack of records, cover-up efforts by the military, and difficulty of reaching witnesses in areas where the crimes were committed.
Even though the military had reacted in various press statements, it had found time to detail its activities following the release of the report. The Chief of Administration of the Nigerian Army says attempts to get the right group to be part of its own investigation proved abortive.
The military requested Amnesty International to provide a member for the investigation panel to look into the allegations, but the invitation was not honored by Amnesty International. The essence of offering Amnesty International membership of this investigation panel was to guarantee fairness and justice while proving to the world that the military has nothing to hide or cover up.
He also denied claims that the military did not cooperate with the rights group in the process of its investigation.
Amnesty International wrote a 5-point questionnaire to the Nigerian military in November 2014, which alleged extrajudicial killing of some group of people. The military responded to the 5-point questionnaire immediately, and in December 2014, precisely on the 23rd of December 2014, Amnesty International sent another 37-point questionnaire to the military and gave the deadline for the same day, which was answered. We emailed it, and a hard copy was delivered to the Amnesty International office in London on the same day, 23rd December 2014. If the military had anything to hide, it would not have responded to the 37 questions and others, especially in the light of constraint of timing.
The military says it has zero tolerance for human rights abuses and other war crimes. It promised to investigate thoroughly the investigation by the Human Rights Group. Amaka Okafor, Channels Television News.
In its response, Amnesty International says it's good news that the Nigerian military is taking steps to do its own independent investigation. However, the human rights body insists that that's not necessary for it to be a part of the Nigerian military investigative panel, since it has done its own.
This is positive news. However, what we've called for in our report is an independent, impartial and comprehensive investigation into allegations of war crimes and crimes against humanity in northeast Nigeria. And that's by both parties to the conflict, by Boko Haram as well as by the military. Now, we've received a very positive response from the President of Nigeria. He said that it will be one of the first things on the agenda of the Attorney General when he's appointed, and also that he would leave no stone unturned in getting to the bottom of human rights violations. So we're waiting for those investigations. In terms of the military's own, I mean, Amnesty International has done its work. We've spoken to more than 400 witnesses, victims, human rights defenders, local government officials. We've done our research and we've made that evidence public. We've submitted it to the Nigerian military beforehand. It's now for them and for the Nigerian government to investigate these allegations. So let me just take one example. In August of last year, we published video footage showing Nigerian soldiers cutting the throats of detainees in front of a mass pit. In front of a large pit. They called them forward one by one and executed them. And this was following the Boko Haram attack on Giwa Barracks in March of last year. And we believe that more than 640 detainees were recaptured by the military and killed on that day. So we sent our private analysis to the military, to the Nigerian government in advance, said that, you know, this is what we believe has happened, and asking them to investigate.
The National Emergency Management Agency has provided more relief materials to internally displaced persons in Borno State. This follows the Memorandum of Understanding signed by the agency and the state government. The Borno State Governor, Kashim Shettima, says NEMA's intervention has helped the state in managing the IDP camps more efficiently.
23 makeshift camps in Maiduguri is home to at least 900,000 people displaced by insurgency rocking Borno State. Most families in the host community have opened their doors to some of them, giving them the opportunity to continue with their businesses, like this tailor. The Borno State government had repeatedly groaned over the burden of housing and catering for these displaced persons, but the good news is that the National Emergency Management Agency is now collaborating with the state government to tackle head-on some of the issues. Food items expected to cater for them for the next 2 months have arrived the state.
Hand over these items to Borno State.
Thank God we get fed, and they have given us clothes. They care for us in the camps, and we are grateful.
The Director General of NEMA has also been visiting the health centers to evaluate areas requiring the agency's intervention. The NEMA DG's visit did not just end at the health center. He made out time to meet with the state governor.
In fulfillment of the MOU that was signed between NEMA and your government, we have prepositioned enough humanitarian relief items and have deployed a team of well-trained camp management and camp coordinators personnel to assist in the management of the humanitarian situation in this state.
Due to his magnanimity of spirit, due to his courage, they stepped in and lifted a huge burden off our shoulders. They have provided foodstuffs that will sustain the IDP camps for the next 3 months.
Borno State is said to be home to 70% of internally displaced persons in Nigeria. This collaborative effort between NEMA and the state government is expected to yield more positive results in the coming months.
A federal high court in Abeokuta, Ogun State, capital southwest of Nigeria, has ordered the immediate release of a Muslim cleric arrested by the Department of State Security Service on allegations of terrorism and terror activity. 35-year-old Abdul Ibrahim and his wife were arrested last year and have not been properly charged in any court. The presiding judge, Justice Folashade Ogunbajo, says the continued detention of the man violates his fundamental human rights. Justice Ogunbajo went further to say that the order of release given does not stop the DSS from investigating the crime. Mr. Ibrahim, through his counsel, had approached the Federal High Court in Abeokuta to challenge his continued detention without trial. In part 2, after the break, President Buhari urges Nigerians to embrace democracy as a lifestyle, says those aggrieved over 2015 elections should approach the courts. Join us again.